Okay, so this video is going to be slightly long. I tried to make it as short as possible without missing anything. I had to speed things up. So you see, the first thing I'm going to do here is open up my Design 11, whatever it's called, and I'm going to open that vector file that I have of this little baby cow. This was a coloring page that I found online, so I'm just using it for practice, and I thought it was so cute. I thought I would love to have a little key fob out of this. So anyway, you can see the first thing I'm doing is I'm going to start converting these stitches. It just automatically, I think, wants to make it look like a satin stitch or a fill stitch. I want to do mostly running stitches for the outside, and then I'm going to fill the inside lines. And you see me doing all that, and then I will work on how I want the stitches to be, the length, the number of times it goes around, and all that. And then I'll do the stitch order. This was definitely a trial and error. This was the 4th try that goes all the way to the end of the video where you see me stitch it out. But the file, I had to kind of keep tweaking. What I did was put it in my Procreate in my iPad, and I kind of traced the cow, and I took out elements I didn't want because I knew they would not stitch right, or it was too much stitching, or I just kind of made the design where I could actually make it into a stitch file. So there is a little bit of tweaking to this. You have to play around with it, and I am completely new to embroidery. I just purchased my first embroidery machine back in March of this year, 2023, and I had just acquired the Design 11 so that I could work with the most current software, and it does take some getting used to, but in my opinion, this is how you learn. You don't just wake up one morning and know how to do this stuff. So my final result is not going to be perfect, but it is the first final result for this. I may still work on this little cow later, but I want to work on some of my own drawings and designs. This just helped me to understand lines and doing things like that. And you see it is a process. I started doing this over the last 2 days, and it's probably taken 8 to 10 hours to perfect everything, and it's a constant going back and checking and make sure that all the stitches and the lines are right. But I wanted the little cow to have colors. I wanted her hair and horns and eyes and hooves and all that to be colored, so I had to work with that. The first couple of designs, just the vector file was a solid file, if that makes any sense to you, and I couldn't separate it to make the color, so I just had to keep playing around with it. You see the little eyes there? That's one thing, that the eyeballs in the center could not be touching the outside with the eyelashes on it because I couldn't separate the file. And if you already know how to do that, you shouldn't be watching this video anyway, unless you're just here to critique me. But anyway, this is how I'm learning. This is how I'm learning it. I think we all learn in different ways, but when I learn something new like this, I really enjoy showing or teaching how I learned it. So this is my process, and And once I have everything the way I want it, and I've gone back and made sure that I haven't missed anything, because when you are doing it this way, it is easy to miss an element in there. I actually I cut out a lot of those parts in this video, but I had to go back because once I would get to the finished result, then I would realize that I accidentally left an eyeball out, or I accidentally deleted it or something, so I had to go back and do that. And unfortunately, I thought I was screen recording for the coloring part, but I was not. So you're just going to have to trust me. I went back in and clicked on these and changed the colors. And I guess I call it the sweet spot for the outlines is to do on the smaller elements, like the wrinkles on the nose and things like that. I only do one pass. When I do the actual outside outline, I set it to where it does 2 passes, and it's 2.5 inches. I tried it at different settings, and for me it just didn't work. 3.0, not inches, millimeters, I'm sorry, let me backtrack on that. The 3.0 millimeters for the outline, that's the final outline, is just something about it that's not right with me. So I do 2.5 millimeters 2 times around for the outside. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to decide how big I want this, or how small I want it, big, small, whatever. You see I converted it to inches. I don't do millimeters very well for measurements, so I have to convert it to inches to kind of get an idea in my head of what size it's going to be. So I'm going to grab this little rounded rectangle, and I'm going to place it on the top. And the intention is to have an eyelet instead of folding it over and putting a snap tab on it. And you can see I use the applique tool, and I'm going to go in and actually delete that applique line, and then delete one of these outside lines. And I'm not sure, like I said, this may not be the way everybody does it, but it is the way I'm learning to do it. And I'm going to delete that original rounded rectangle that I originally made, which really just looks like an oval here. But anyway, we're going to delete that because we don't want to sew over the cow's little hair. But, this is the way I'm learning to do it. If you do have a better way and you would like to advise me on that, I would 100% appreciate the tips and tricks. I actually learned that little trick from making that little tab on top from another YouTube video that I watched. And one thing I've noticed about these embroidery videos are really hard to find. It's really hard to find somebody who actually gives good details, because I think it's not that they're purposely not giving good details. It's just when you're so used to doing something and you're so good at it, you tend to forget that other people are trying to learn it, and leaving little things out can be detrimental to somebody who's trying to learn. So I'm going to tilt this sideways so that it fits bigger. It is bigger when it stitches out. I don't want it to be teeny tiny. So I'm just going to get the sizing right. And another video that I thought I was recording but I wasn't was when I actually saved this. And you want to save it for whatever file you use on your embroidery machine. Mine happens to be PES, so that is what I save mine as. And I think I forgot to mention in the beginning of the video that I'm using a 4x4 hoop. So the first stitch is going to be the tray stitch. The colors in this, I did not really worry about specific colors in the design file. I just figured I would work that out when I got to stitching, and I separated a lot of the colors so that I would be able to change a color if I wanted to. Now I will say here, I'm going to go back in and be tweaking this file to be a little bit better, stitch a little better. But I meant for the eyebrows, I tried to do everything in an order, and I guess I accidentally moved the eyebrow files. But I'll be going back in and changing that so that it stitches after her little tuft of hair there, because I did use the same color for those. And then you see I used the same color for her neckline and her little tail. And once these little hooves are stitched out, I will be putting in just a solid black color. So this you're seeing here is the outline before the outline. It's actually just to trace the little cow, and then I'll go and put the piece of vinyl on the back, and that moved so quick you didn't even see it, so it's a good thing I'm telling you. But then I'll do that final trace, and that's when all the stitching will be done, and it's time to clip threads and make it into a key fob. And I actually did not get to make this into a key fob because I don't know, I was so scatterbrained today. I was trying to make a hole in the top to put an eyelet in, and I just cut it. It just sliced right through, and I hate it. But anyway, it's still adorable. I hope you enjoyed this little video. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Peace, y'all. Bye-bye.